My name is Machado. I've been in the martial arts for over 35 years, specifically in the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I will share with you in this DVD several techniques, but what I believe will make it unique is the realistic approach I'm taking in it. I'm not just teaching you drills and techniques for you to see. My concern is that you can become an expert and able to apply it under any circumstance. So I will have senior students of mine who are experienced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners helping me out and demonstrate not just how the techniques work, but how to make the techniques work under a resistance situation. And that, I believe, will separate you apart from the rest. As I said earlier, my concern is to share with you realistic knowledge. And in order for you to have that, you have to have an experienced partner or someone that knows how to feed properly the resistance in order for you to be able to apply the techniques, like I said, not just when your partner allows you to, but mainly when you have someone that's not willing to cooperate. And that has become a difficult issue when people do drills or they learn a technique. They don't know how to make the transition into applying the technique with no resistance and having either in a competition or in a training scenario that same easiness to make the technique work. I'm going to invite right now, gladly invite one of my first black belts in the United States, Tim Burrell, to come with me to the mat. And he's going to be kind enough to make me work hard in order to make you guys benefit from this video. So Tim and I, what we're going to cover first will be situations from the guard. And I'd like you to understand that the guard does not involve only submissions or reversals, which a lot of times that's what people expect or all they want to learn. A lot of times you have to know how to prevent someone first from escaping from your guard. And it is important for you to go through that first step in order to be able to apply the other two that come later on, which I already mentioned, the submissions and reversals. By the way, when we do this defensive techniques to keep someone from passing your guard, we're going to eventually end up in some situations where submissions will be applicable. And I'm going to go ahead and not delay any further the action. We're going to go hands-on here. So the first thing I want you to know is when you are facing down, and I will start first when the legs are open already, so you'll be equipped to face that position. We have a situation like this, which is the double arm under the legs. Okay, this is a very powerful leverage that my partner gets. Here he can do a variety of situations. For instance, one of the first things that he'll do is try to elevate my hip, and once my hip is high enough, he's going to start stacking me, control my lapel, and put all his weight. If I start acting this late, it is kind of unlikely I will be able to cope with the fact that he's going to pass my guard. Okay? So basically here, as soon as the guy gets my legs, go ahead, go. My legs, you see how my legs are tight? Right away. I do not wait with my legs relaxed. See the difference here? Go ahead. Tie up. Now, there's a second aspect of it. I'll always try to keep his hands from grabbing anything. You see how I'm playing with his hands here? And the third aspect is every time he elevates my body, go ahead, I have to match with my shoulder. As he move forward towards me a little bit. You see, I cannot let the guy keep moving. If he stacks me too much, he's going to get what he wants, whether I like it or not. So, go ahead. So here I am. As I'm doing that, I'm loosening up his grip on my legs. My knees rotate either way until I can get the blade, the outside blade of my foot to block his arm. Keep moving. Here right now, my goal here, besides blocking that arm, is eventually to find his hip. Okay, keep moving. Once I take care of that side, I'm going to now take care of the other leg. See what I'm saying? Go ahead, move. See here? And I want to change the angle here. I don't want to be here for too long. I really like this position, as you can see, to kind of change the angle. You see how my legs penetrate? Eventually I get the belt. Elbow tight, go ahead, move. See, elbow tight. If for some reason I feel, do you see here how he's trying to regain his posture? And he's all stuck over here, okay? Here in this position, a lot of times, if he gives me the opportunity, I'm gonna reach out, okay? I'm gonna scoot under him.
bumping my hip. Once I start getting under him and I elevate, I start to rotate the knee and up on top. Okay? Go back again. Go again one time, more resistance a little bit. Go, go. Go, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Good. My feet continuously, I don't know if you notice. Come here for a second. Please. Did I hit you there on the nose? You all right? Okay, I'm always working on his hip and legs. Move, move. Look my punch grip here, what I call punch grip. Punch grip. See that? Don't just hold the grip. Collar grip. Move, move. See, I'm keeping his posture continuously affected here. Look my position here. Now, once I get my hooks inside, it can become, see, a reversal position. In case team does not cooperate, don't cooperate, come on, fight back, fight back. I try to fit my feet on the hip. I can actually drag him back to the guard. I have an angle here, which we're gonna cover later on, submission. But like, anytime I'm in this position, we can squeeze the arm into what we call Americana squeeze. Not the straight arm bar, but I lift the wrist and I thrust my hip forward, okay? It's kind of like an easy position. Or I can take advantage of the angle and climb the back, okay? Best case scenario, go ahead and move a little bit, is I will get the back. Okay, go back. Worst case scenario is going to resist a little bit. A lot of times, this arm on the ground makes me be tempted to drag my elbow in. And that alone is an easy submission here, because I don't know if you noticed, anytime my elbow circles inside his wrist, I lever, pulling his arm out. See, it's already kind of like a submission situation there. Okay, I thrust my hip, that allows the guy. Worst case scenario, let's say the guy does not fall into it. Fight, fight. You're back into the guard. See what I'm saying? You're not an easy pass. What are the important points here that we're talking about? Okay, the drill is called heavy legs, and that's pretty much what it means. When the guy wants to lift, if my legs are elevated, there's no way I can prevent that from happening. Go back again. So whenever he starts, my legs are bent 90 degrees, and I squeeze my knees a little bit. I want to be as heavy as I can, regardless how much he is able to lift me. My hands are always working to try to pull his grip off my leg. My shoulder's always mobile in case he wants to stack me. Go ahead. See, eventually here, as I only start stretching my legs when I turn my knee out. Why do I do that? If I try to coil my leg, I can't. I want to get my foot against his arm. So when I rotate, do you see how the blade fits in? Keep moving now. Yeah, right there. See, I want to get that foot right there. Now here, for instance, in this position, because his stance is favoring me, I might actually work this situation here, okay, which is called the ankle pick hook flip. Okay, so I switch the grip on the sleeve and I get the ankle. Okay, I'll just turn a little bit more. Thank you. One problem that plagues this position is two things. First, you don't put pressure right away. So a lot of times your partner can kick the leg out before you try. Okay, so here, what's really important here is pressure right away and a little hip motion here. A lot of times when you hook the leg in the first attempt, you resist, please, turn a little bit. See how he's kind of turning his hip? That prevents my foot from pushing. Go back again. So what I try to do is, instead of hooking, I kind of push his knee out a little bit. That kind of spreads his knee out. Now when I reach out under, see how his base is more spread out? I start pushing the hip, look, I pull, he's collapsing, he's falling. As I go close, keep moving. It's really important here, go back one step. That, stay there, stay there. Take advantage of my move, get my back and circle. Yeah, you see here how I'm losing the position fast, go back. Go back to the same position, standing up. It is important here, as you unfold from one technique into the other, that you can actually, so you push, okay, pull and push. Okay, as you go here, I want to be in an angle where I don't allow him to circle. So as I'm here, keep going. See, I'm actually moving in. I'm not moving out, I'm moving with him. I want to kind of stay low. See, control his legs. this is not a position where you're gonna actually end up on the side. This is a reversal where your objective is to get on top of him, primarily inside his legs. Okay? One situation that arises from this drill, okay? And by the way, this drill is very important because that's one of the main attempts. One situation that arises from this drill as we go, heavy legs, work on the grip, work on your shoulders, get the blade of your foot to get out, keep moving. See over here, fight a little bit, okay? See, at the angle here. See that? This is called Perroche angle, named after one of my students. Okay? You want to get in here, and like I said, if your partner does not give you anything, keep your base. I want your foot, look at my foot, to start working, to spread him out. Do you see that? Go get your base again. Turn around a little bit so I can see. Thank you. I want to reach under his leg. I want to reach under his arm. I'm trying to get that hook that's inside his leg to help him elevate. His base is too strong. So I was working that leg, now I'm going to work on this leg. Keep your base, come on. You see how I'm pushing him off? You okay there? Yes, okay. Here now, even if I don't get anything, I'm able to eventually get out from the bottom. And now I'm in a position of attack. I can go on top. Okay? We're going to cover later on different submissions when the guy is on all fours. But for now, what I like you to do is, when you do the heavy leg drill, to keep your feet always working on the hip and on the legs. And try to create an angle with your hip that you're not square. Okay? Just one last time. Go. Keep passing, keep passing. See how my leg is always moving? I never settle for this. Here, pass my guard, go ahead, pass. See here, go back. Go ahead, go. See, look here. I'm always on the lookout. Look how I broke his grip. I'm sorry. So here we go. I'm working his base. Look here. Work on his base. Get the angle. Get the belt. If you give him the chance, see, we can start from a standing position as well. Being on your back, does not mean that you have to settle. Stay here, please. That you have to settle for being on the bottom all the time, being punished by an attempt of getting past. Okay? Now we're going to cover another scenario that goes along with this situation, which is he not only has one arm under, but he's going to pin one of my legs. I'm going to kind of demonstrate here first the outcome of that position. Screw over a little bit. A strong hip control. See that? That's the second guard defense drill. Your partner here will try to pin your knee, or he's going to try to grab under your calf. Okay? Now, if you're the one doing that, just a word of caution. All right? Don't be too greedy in pinning that leg and leave your arm, with your elbow exposed, because they can drag your arm. Go ahead, finish. Kind of finish me either in a shoulder position, reverse now, just grab. Yeah, okay. Right there, hold that for longer. See, I'm unnecessarily, or go back. Let's do a simple kimura there. Kimura. See, a lot of times here, slow, keep going slow, keep moving. See, if I'm not careful enough, I can fall prey into all those positions. So, an experienced fighter, he's going to try to keep his elbow hidden enough that he does not expose. Okay? Here, he's going to keep pressure on the hip and the shoulder. Eventually, he steps over. And what he wants to do is accomplish the side mount. That's what I want to do. Now, I don't keep my head here, like hanging in there. You can get reverse triangle if you're not careful. Push my face. Get your leg over. You see, cross your leg tight. A lot of times, there is an easy submission here. The guy traps your head. Then he traps your arm. Now he does a reverse arm bar. Go back. So I thought I had everything going for me. But because I'm not maybe aware, I'm kind of lousy in my technique here, I'm falling into a bunch of roadblocks that I can prevent. Don't get me wrong, we are not working right now guard passes. We're going to work a counter to this particular pass. But I have to kind of go over with you what I like to see your partner doing in order for you to work your drill correctly, okay? If you do hold over the knee, I want your elbow in, never out, okay? And here, go ahead, keep moving. Pull back up and pull the leg towards you. Step your leg over, okay? Come out, all right? And I want you here to sink your hip in a way that if he tries to get the leg over, see, keep your head down. Okay, keep your head down. Eventually you improve the control, you can let go and stabilize on the side mount. If for some reason the guy gets the leg over the face, retreat right away. Retreat, go ahead, keep moving there. Because here you can at least go back to the guard unharmed. You don't let go. And a lot of times actually I might use this situation here to pass his guard. Once he gets there, I back up. See, in here, I kind of tie my elbow and I start circling the other way. Okay, go back one step. See, it's really important here that I sink my weight against the hip, okay, as I pass. Why do I do that? If I keep not enough weight there, he can still swing the leg back over my head and trap into a triangle situation, okay? Which you're going to see also later on. So this is kind of like what I'm trying to explain to you that I want you to fight against. Right hand in this case is going to grab the belt. Okay, have his belt here. Shoulder heavy on the leg. Okay, your hand can work on the calf or on the knee. Okay, here I want you to kind of like move to the inside, drag his leg between my legs, step over, then eventually I step, and I overwhelm and move my weight. Push. See how I'm kind of keeping my weight on the hip and push. Start putting the guard. Come on. See, once I clear the way, I get there. Remember this, I told you, elbow in all the time. Because even from this situation, if I'm passing and I keep my elbow wide, Kimura. Yeah, he can get the Kimura there. Go back. So my elbows all the time in. Okay? If he does grab my sleeve, go ahead. See, go ahead. As I pass, I move my hip forward and stretch out first. Okay? I do not try to pull my arm out and give the Kimura. Go back. So here, go ahead, hold it. See here, look. That way. And here, be careful also. Some guys do the reversed key lock. Go back again. Key lock, maybe. Yeah, right there. Yeah, a lot of times, believe it or not, this is an unusual position. But people, unfortunately, sometimes are unaware of it. Okay, so when you're stretching here, don't just bring your arm back and let the guy post it because it might hurt you. So here, as you stretch out, go ahead, try again. So you circle over the head. See what I'm saying? Circle over the head and head down, go ahead. He tries to push my head in. Eventually switch into the side mount. Okay? Now that I spent this time showing you the situation we're going to go against, let's have a look what entails the counter. We're working here defensive guard drills. It is a must that you know how to protect against one leg grab, one leg in, guard pass. Situation number one. Okay, go ahead. As soon as I get caught, see, head control right away. This leg here, in this case, excuse me for a second. This leg here, I'm going to try to stretch and kick. Go ahead, go. See, I have to kind of make my knee and thigh lower than his shoulder. I have to. If his shoulder is higher, see, he's going to push my leg out, and he has all the angle to push his weight through, and eventually stabilize on my side. Go back. So start from the beginning now. You're in the guard. Go ahead, go. See, here, go. Go ahead, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Look how I turn my hip and my knee. I'm squeezing my legs together. Eventually, keep going, keep going. Eventually here, I control his arm. My knee start working to push. Do you see that? I push under his armpit. I don't know if you notice here that I keep my legs tight. Try to pull your arm out. Do you see how I kind of like, I keep his arm trapped over here? It's an interesting position here because we're going to unfold into a submission, which is what I like. You can complement defensive techniques with submission. So here, once I keep moving, keep moving. Eventually I control the belt, I hip rotate. Do you see how I still have his arm? Look how one leg feeds the arm to the other. Do you see that? Now I trap my calf. See, try to pull your arm out. Do you see here? Everything's tight. You see, I do not let the arm go. My next step is I want to chase his neck. I might secure the collar grip where I want. Raise your head for a second. I want to get the collar underneath the chin so I can apply a chokehold. Okay? Sometimes I'll have that collar available. In case you do, you go for it right away. Okay? Sometimes you won't. The guy knows what's coming. He's going to be tucked in. It is important though that I control his forearm. See, I cannot perform what we're going to see now called the crucifix unless you have both arms controlled. So once I'm here, the first way you do it is rolling over the head. Okay? You can go over the head or pull the guy back depending on his stance. But here, basically, once I control here, see this leg is tight, controlling the arm. The other one, look, I coil so I can have push. You see that push there? So I push, go ahead, resist a little bit. Once I touch my head and shoulder on the ground, he's going to try to still maintain his balance. Look the pendulum here of this leg. This leg pendulum. Once that leg passes, it brings, this leg here brings his shoulder. See, that's what I want. Okay? Here in this position, as you know, I try not to allow this arm to get out. Otherwise, he's going to roll and face me. And all the effort will be in vain. Go back again. So here, go ahead, move. See, I really hear, that's why it's called the crucifix. See how his arm is spread out? He's like in a cross here situation. So let's see here first, the best case scenario, which is when I can get the lapel underneath the chin right off the bat. Okay? Because of the angle, I don't have that much pull. This is a choke that, do you feel okay there, Tim? Yes, sir. This is a choke that's a continuing pressure instead of a sudden, immediate pressure. Okay? The guy won't tap right away. But here, once I secure the position, see my elbow kind of tries to touch the ground without me changing too much, you know, like I get here, see, and I'm going to try to, see how I'm kind of locking the side of his neck with the choke? Go here. Some guys prefer to move a little bit and kind of hide the shoulder behind the head. Do you see that? Not only they try to pull the lapel, okay, but they also push, look, push the shoulder against the head. Push the shoulder against the head as they pull. If for some reason your partner is, because he knows I want to get the collar from behind his head, he moves the head towards my hip a little bit, that doesn't give me the angle. So I can either try to finish him going across, so I go across, get the collar stretched out, and I'm going to go for the choke this way. Or in an attempt to choke him this way, he might try to alleviate the pressure by moving the head back towards my chest. In case he does that, he's going to give me again the same choke. Okay? You okay there? Yes, sir. All right. We're going to see the same technique again, but there's going to be a variation on the finish of the crucifix. Okay, I want to stay with the crucifix for a little bit. As a matter of fact, let me go back to the crucifix finish, and then we're going to put together the crucifix with the guard defense technique. We're here with it. As you noticed, usually it's not this leg that traps the arm first. See, usually you're going to have this one here. Okay? You try to squeeze you in his tight, and you kind of switch by moving your hip towards your partner's head, facing his head, and the other leg gets under and then switches the trap. Okay? Very important. I already have or should have control over his opposite arm. Okay? That's two. So the condition here is right for the technique. Now, the rolling over, okay, if I have the lapel, it's even better because now I can start to choke from here, or I can choke it as I go, or I don't have to fight for the lapel once I finish the roll. We've done earlier, like I said, when you want to roll over the head, okay, you kind of touch your head on the ground and let your hip go higher a little bit. Now you do the pendulum. Okay, in this case, because I have the lapel, it's pretty much done right here. Okay, go back again. Like I said, so let me here, 1 and 2, okay? Put your hands on the ground for a second. Since you're here, lower a little bit more, right here. We can sometimes play this game here too. Keep your hand inside your partner's arm. You're gonna circle, okay? Feed the arm to the other leg. Squeeze your knees, okay? Pull your arm out, See here? Okay, very important, go back again. If I just try to go, I want you to pull your arm out and then go to the position. What does that bring? Here, one more time. Okay, go back again one more time. Do you see just my knee squeezing here, legs tight? Okay, now I switch. Okay, sometimes my partner is going to put weight more towards the arm I'm targeting, so it makes less available for me to roll that way. If that's the case, okay, I can start sitting back. So I sit back, hold the arm, and I make him fall flat on my chest. And here we're going to follow the same way. I can go over the neck, across, go for the choke here. What I like better, of course, is scoot my hip out a little bit, and I go with the lapel. Like I said, you can use this hand, but you cannot let this arm go. Try to escape, come on. Go, see, I cannot let the arm go. It's very important that you squeeze your knees all the time. See, once I get, see, if I don't squeeze the knees, his elbows, eventually, look how he's escaping the shoulder. Go back again. So it is, go ahead, do it again. Do you see how I'm kind of working against the elbow? It's very important that I work against the elbow. Otherwise, knees loose, turn your elbow in. Once he turns the elbow, the shoulder comes out. Now I'm the one that's in need of help here. Go back again. Okay, collar control and shoulder. Okay? Let me show you the last variation real quick. And we're going to put together the whole drill. Okay? Neck okay, everything in place? Yes, sir. All right. So just put your hands here. So separate hands inside. Feet. Squeeze. Switch. Okay. Now sometimes I like to go here too. I get the lapel. Okay. And I start putting my shoulder on the ground here. Okay. Keep fighting. Come on, keep fighting. See here right now, I try to use my knee and get under him here. Use my knee to lift him. I pass my body under him. I don't know if you notice that. Did I squeeze it too much there? Yes, sir. Okay, I pass my body under him. Remind the lion taking down a bull. That's how they do. We call that the lion spin. So once you're here, the advantage is you already have the choke. This is a good finish when you secure the lapel from the beginning of the position. Let's just see that roll one more time. As long as I have the hand inside his hand over here, I can get my ankle inside and start create the squeeze. See, I already fed the arm. Okay. If I get the lapel, I go for the lion spin. Okay. The lion got the bull's neck, shoulder on the ground. See, and start working to get under him. Pull the arm. Pull the arm. Look how I'm moving under his back here. Look, even if he doesn't want to go, once my hip elevates his body, he's done there. Okay, once I'm here, get my hip in position here so I can either pull the lapel or crush the head with the shoulder pressure. Okay? Good job, Tim. Thank you. Now let's finalize the crucifix variation. One more time from the beginning, defending the guard against the one leg pin. Okay, partners here, go. See, that leg has to be below the shoulder. Press on the head. Go ahead, keep moving. See, look how I turn and squeeze. See that? Keep going, keep going. Control the belt. See how I'm keeping the knee tight? I control the belt, move my body. Eventually here, look, as I sit up, knees on the ground. See, I never let the arm go. The arm was stretched for the entire time. Okay? Once I'm here, this is a leg that determines how much you're going to move to one side or the other. If his both knees are down, I roll over. Okay? Over here. If his leg is up, I post this way and I sit back. Lean back, move my hip, cross, or behind the neck. Okay? Good job, Tim.
We basically concluded the very common scenario when your partner wants to pass your guard with the hip control, holding the belt. That means with one arm under, and the other arm holding the leg, one leg pin. Arm under, one leg pin. Okay? So this is the position. And basically what I was trying to accomplish is step over the leg and end up on the side mount. As you've seen, we've had a drill that I believe will definitely make a difference when someone attacks your guard that way. What you have seen is actually live speed of a counter to the same position that we were trying to cover earlier on. Good job, Tim. He's making me out of breath already. But anyways, this is called the sleeve belt grip rollover, okay? And usually this technique is favorable when you feel your partner is actually already on his way to pass your guard, okay? The concept here, as you've seen earlier, is the same technique that we covered, okay? So my partner has the underarm control and the leg pin. Instead of trying to muscle him, because I was not able to beat his head as I had done earlier on and go for the crucifix, as he starts, go back from the beginning for a second. As he starts the position, my hand captures the sleeve right away, and I actually favor his pass by kind of going towards his belt. Go ahead. See, what's really important here is keeping pressure with the elbow. One foot on the ground, my other leg kind of kicks out. I have to get rid of that grip. And I use this leg here over his face to kind of lift him a little bit. You know, if you guys notice that. And here eventually I post my other foot on the ground and I generate the lever to roll him over the head. I don't know if you noticed when you were doing the actual live speed that he was trying to actually roll. If you do not keep control over this arm and you just try to go on top, soon you're going to find out that he's rolling out of the position. Go back again. So when your partner is going to beat you there, so you get the position here, tie up, kick, use the head push. See, that takes his weight off your chest. And the other foot on the ground, you know, helps you lever his weight over. Now here the key is how you keep the pressure over this arm. Okay, he's going to try to roll facing me. See, I keep pressure on the arm hook. I keep driving the arm here so he does not have the lever, and eventually I improve my control on the side so I can stabilize the position 100%. Word of caution for the person at the bottom on this position: be careful with your partner's knees on your face, okay? This is what happens sometimes when you're unaware. Excuse me, pass this way so I can. So a lot of times, some guys, they will jump, and as I'm trying to meet his body to grab the belt, they try to step with the leg over, and sometimes, as you see, the knee might be in a range where it might hit my face. Go back again. So every time you go, you have to kind of, instead of keeping your face exposed, you kind of duck a little bit and hide, because even if your knee was to hit your face, you will not have direct contact either with your head or with your face. Okay, you kind of duck. Okay, remember what I told you, you have to get rid of the grip here, kicking out.
I don't know if you noticed too here at one point, I was trying to flip him and he was resisting. Shift your weight a little bit, Timmy. Yeah. So I felt I couldn't go anywhere. I tried to move my body out of the way, actually to try to roll. But in his attempt to chase me, he gave me again the roll. See what I'm saying? You have to actually bait your partner into driving the weight onto your body, okay? And that's pretty much it. If I can actually make the move work here, great. If not, I'll redirect my hip the opposite way. If he allows me, I'll roll my knees. But most often, he's gonna chase me and give me the opportunity again to flip him over. Remember the knee against the face. So, just to make a long story short, we start right in the position. Okay, hide your face, you kick. I feel here I'm not going anywhere. I'm elbow tight, core my legs, bump my hip. You see that? Here right now, look my knee here. Lift. See, I lift the face. Now I got the lever. See, remember I told you about the control here as you go, the transition here. Don't let him go anywhere. See, and eventually you control. Okay? It's kind of like a very favorable position for several attacks, which we're going to address later on. Thanks, team. Now we're going to see one more option for the same guard attack against your guard. In this case, you're fighting from the bottom. I'm sorry when I say guard attack, it might give the impression that I'm going to teach a submission from the guard. In this case, it means somebody is attacking your guard. He wants to get out. So here, we're going back to kind of like the same situation we were earlier. Go ahead. I will actually be able to work the head and kick the leg out. Okay, get my knee in. In this case now, what I'm going to try to accomplish is get my foot inside his leg. Okay? Now, this position here, don't take it lightly. You're going to try to get as deep as you can, and if you can, get the knee inside under a little bit. That creates so much lever that even if you try to post this arm to avoid the flip, I create a lot of elevation. Look here. Just with the knee. Do you see that? Here, eventually, his arm, no matter how much he tries to keep the balance, collapses. And I will eventually prevail into a top position, which will be a lot better than getting somebody with their weight on my chest. Okay? So, this is a third option, the hook flip option. Okay? It's just training a little bit more. Ready? Go. Go back. Notice that in this position here, see, I'm gonna go work on the leg, on the head. I bounce off the mat, get my knee under. Once I control the belt, it's not the hook. You see, it's not the foot alone that does the job for you. Because here, if I try to elevate him with the hook, keep your weight there, there's no way I can lift. You go deep enough that you can get the knee. See how the knee changes the equation here? And here at one point I felt a lot of resistance that he was not going. I keep still driving with my knee by posting my other elbow on the ground and generating enough push that he's going to fall anyways, okay? So the last part, in case the knee is still not working 100%, you're going to have to elevate your body so you can do more of a knee kick as you go. So here we go, one, bounce, okay? Knee, belt control, knee inside, you got the hook. Look my knee. See, knee dip, okay? Create the elevation. Good news here. Let's say something goes wrong here. Don't go anywhere. If the mountain doesn't go to you, you go to the mountain. What do we get here? We've seen that before, huh? Sounds familiar here? We're in a crucifix setup, which if I have the collar right away, I'm hungry for it, I'll go for it. If I don't, I'm still gonna work on his balance. Once I generate the lift, go for it. Just a quick observation here. If for some reason your partner walks down his shoulder and his head becomes out of range, you kind of get over. Okay? It's okay. Losing the crucifix is not the end of the world. You still have the side mount that will give you a lot of options as well. Good job, team. With that, we conclude the 3 basic options to counter the under leg, one leg pin guard pass. We have covered some interesting positions to increase your defense ability when you're defending the guard. Now we're going to see a couple of drills designed for the following objective. Number 1, your partner eventually will pass your guard, but he's going to have to take a lot of time. He's going to have to sweat very hard for it. Step 2, you're going to shut down his pass and you're going to actually be in a superior position afterwards. So here right now we're working with 2 objectives. Sometimes when you train and you feel you don't have yet the skills to stop someone, you try to see how far you can go before he accomplishes his guard pass. Second, once you figure out the game he's trying to play, then you're going to eventually counter specifically against the pass he's going after. Okay? What we're going to cover right now is one of the most common guard passes and actually one of the most effective as well. I'm going to demonstrate first and then we're going to try to see how we can delay or neutralize that pass. I'll have Timmy again one more time lying down flat on the mat. Okay, just put your head that way. Thank you. I have control over both legs at knee level. Sometimes it can be low at shin level. At this point, we're going to work the knee. Okay? He can just grab your knees, or he can actually grab the pants. Okay? This is called the bull fighting or bull riding pass. Okay? Basically, when I'm here in this position, I back up and I make his knees uneven. And as I do it, I kind of step out of range of the leg that I go towards, and eventually I clear the way to either stabilize with the knee on the stomach, or some guys who throw all the weight over the chest. Some guys who even, as they find a position, as you block, okay, they actually circle over your head all the way to the side until they manage to get on the sidelines. Okay? So this is what we're going to work right now. When we're here playing, Tim is not going to fight that hard right now because we're not doing yet the counters. It's more like the mobility your training partner should have in order for you to maximize your drill. Okay? So elbows, 90-degree angle, move a little bit. See, try to circle inside the legs first. Okay? Once you circle inside the legs, okay, that's when you're uneven the guy's knees and kind of circle towards the side that you're pulling towards you. Okay? I like to stabilize first with the knee and then kind of close the gap with my body. Okay? On the transition to the side mount, what's important in this position? One time, go. See, I want to see nothing holding you. Move. Nothing holds you. Okay? Anything he does. See, you're moving, circle, uneven. You move in, move out. Okay? Anytime he wants to use the arms to block you, you're going to kind of rotate your hip back and forth to beat his leverage. Okay, so when I'm here, I keep turning. See, that eventually makes his elbows collapse. I close the gap and get my position accomplished. When I do this position, I really like to do a 180. A lot of times I here defend. As I move, once I do the bull fighting, I like to go here. And here, as he tries to recover, head on the chest or stomach, keep moving. See how my arms block the knees, okay? I clear the way, eventually chest to chest, okay? So you try to sometimes not only stabilize across, you go all the way over the head, okay? If your partner wants to follow you with the legs, as I'm going, I don't know if you notice, I never go straight to the side. I always go back and forth, okay? So when you're here, again one more time, muscle control, back and forth. If he ever moves his hip, okay, put your feet on the ground, try to move your hip. Yeah, I change the hip. You see what I'm doing here? Go back. Move your hip if I try to land on the chest, what will happen is I have a guy who has a sideways angle here. So that will make it more difficult for me to prevent him eventually from rolling on his knees. Okay, go back again. So basically what you want to accomplish in this position, besides the back and forth motion, which kind of sends mixed signals to your partner, it actually favors your angle. See, I move this way first and I want to go that way. Of course, if it ever makes it easy for me to go this way, I will. But generally speaking, 1 and 2. Okay? And here now, like I said, if he plants his feet on the ground and try to move away from me, I keep following his legs. See what I'm saying? And eventually, look what happens. Hip, lands on hip, arm release, side mount guaranteed. Excuse me. All right, so basically now, as you know the game plan of your partner on top, let's see what the game plan would be for you from the bottom. What's your first objective at this point? You're not thinking about preventing him altogether from getting on your side. You're going to actually make him pay for it. You're going to make him sweat. Once you have sidescapes worked on, even if you have a partner who passes your guard, you can always put him back in the guard or get out of the bottom without that much problem. That makes your game very dynamic. So let's start slow first, see what your legs should do. When my partner grabs me, I don't care if he passes in 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour. Okay? I'm not going to stop moving my feet. Okay? I'm always trying to kind of bring my heels if I can. Another thing I do in this position is as I go here, I kind of like use that arm, go back again, to level my hip. Look how my hip kind of elevates a little bit. Then I go and get the other leg circling. I like to circle over the arm better than I do inside. Although sometimes inside is your only option, it's a weaker option. Because here, despite the fact I have the arm block, he still has a powerful grip. And he can pass this way anytime he wants. Normally when I get my heel over his arm, I don't know if you notice, it messes up his grip. Okay? One thing that you see as he holds you is most of the time as you start to move, see over here, he moves forward too sometimes. And if you don't match his stepping forward with your shoulders, see, he kind of stacks you and puts you in a very bad spot, which he can decide actually here to go under your legs as he kind of go here. See, and then from here, it's like kind of like a little late for you to stop. But like I said, your goal is to delay. So as you rotate your legs over, keep moving a little bit towards me, same way again. Look at my shoulders. My shoulders are always, and my legs never stop. One time, I want you to kind of beat the side here for a second. See, I kind of switch feet too sometimes, you see what I'm saying? He kind of got in a sideways angle here, he beat his leg. So I'll borrow this foot here to kind of get his arm back in a position where I can stop him. And here I go again. Okay, so, and as he circles, and moves, keep increasing the notch. That's my guard a little bit. I'm gonna try to bait him into try to pass in a different way if I can, but yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Okay, he beat my guard, but it was not right away. Okay, so like I said, just refreshing memory. Go. See how long it takes. Go ahead, come on. Let's pick up. Go ahead. Show them. Go ahead. Latch again. Good. Good. Pass. Good. That's all right. That's all right. Without the foot rotation, the shoulder walk, he could pass in a second. I mean, it would take him no time. That gives me some comfort, at least, that I can deal with this powerful position. I don't want to settle, though, and just delay my partner from passing. I want to shut him down, okay? So you're going to have to get used to two different concepts here. We're going to break it down. One of them is, as soon as he gets you, okay, over here, you arm drag yourself. You see what I'm doing here is like, I'm going to try to sit up. Go ahead. See here, I kind of like one arm blocks. As soon as the arm blocks, I'll switch, and I'll switch that way. Okay, now here what I really want to do is like, I'm trying to set his body straight. As I do it, I really have to spread my legs out. Why? He can always switch sides. See, as I'm trying to turn his shoulders, see, he's gonna make me collapse as he goes. So what I do here is like I spread my arm out, my leg out as much as possible, okay? And I keep redirecting his shoulder. Put your weight on me. So as he tries to put the weight on me, I move out of the way. What does it have? The floor. It doesn't have my chest. Does that ring a bell here? Do you still remember in the earlier part of our DVD when I had this position here that leads straight into the crucifix? This one here. So let's start from the beginning now. I want you to pass. Start with legs crossed. Like I said, at this point, I'm limiting my guard just to react. I'm not taking any action from the beginning. I'm strictly in a defensive mode, and my partner is going to basically have the freedom to get to that great situation of holding both of my knees for the bullfighting position. See also how when I'm trying to move, my hip changes level. I'm here, move a little bit, look at my hip. You see how my hip kind of bumps a little bit? Keep moving. Elbow in with my elbow, skip arm now. Do you see that? Go back again, skip again, look the elbow tight. Look now here what I'm doing, I drag, look, stretch, drag. Now I have to put pressure on his leg, and he still has a lot of base. Here, don't go, look how much his foot plants on the ground here. So when I move under, stretch and rotate your knee. Look how my knee points to the outside. See what I'm saying? He's trying to resist there, whether he has the hand on the ground or not. I go against the hip. Keep everything tight. Go back again. Break down slow motion now. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What? Tilt. Hip bump. Where am I? I can choke from here. I can choke from the crucifix. Practical drills for you to be effective on this position. Okay, you want to get used to not to keep your back on the ground all the time. See here? I'm going to use the line here on the mat to show you how much I can move my hip far back from this position. So once I grab the ground with my elbow, I coil my legs and I kick my hip that way. See, I'm in a sitting position. Look how far I went. That's all extra space that I generate to work out, to block and eventually get out of the way. Remember, your legs is not close together because it's going to circle around. You're going to make a big wide, stance, and at the same time, your hip wants to bump. Hip bump. Okay? Translating the position. A good drill here. Thank you. A good drill. Start low. Now low. Okay, partner holds here, okay? Once he holds, he's gonna slow motion go that way. Once you stop here, actually go back one step. Let's start from the beginning here. So I'm sitting, you're gonna go. See, I have to kind of get out. Okay, 1, 2, spread out. Okay, hip bump. You see that? When you do the hip bump, you kind of get out of the way. And here you are, ready to eventually move and get out of the position. Okay? Slow motion one more time. One, 2, keep on. Hip bump. That's what's going to make the position work. Go back one step. I don't know if you notice how close he got to passing at this point. He was almost passing here. Look my hip here. Look my hip. Hip bump. See, I got the space now. I dragged his arm. I'm good to go. Get out of the way. Okay? Since we're in this position here, I want you to be on all fours for a second. Let's assume that when I was on the side, I did not have the benefit of trapping one of his arms. okay? Which would give me what? The crucifix. See, every time I have the foot inside, I'll feed to the other leg, keep my knees tight, and follow up on the position I described earlier on. But here right now, any opening, you're gonna aim your hand towards the chest, kind of like diagonal, not across the face, down, and then you kind of come with your thumb to kind of dig under the chin, because most guys, you'll try to kind of like hide. Once you get the chin clear, lift up a little bit, see how I kind of like get the thumb inside? That's when you go there. I'm gonna keep the collar loose just for the sake of saving his neck. But here in this position, be always cautious with this arm. Okay, a lot of times what I do, lower your head for a second. Some guys, you will just either roll you over, keep rolling, keep rolling. And, you know, I don't have the crucifix, see, I don't have the other arm. So he's more mobile, you know, I might be able to finish him, but it's unlikely. Keep moving. He can kind of turn towards me and neutralize the choke. Go back again. We're just touching a little bit on the clock choke, by the way. One extra point that really concerns me is some guys actually can have their arm injured or broken when they reach out for the far arm, especially when your partner can kind of like move out of the way and kind of go for like an arm bar. Can you see here, stop for a second, how I'm in a very bad spot right there. See, my elbow is locked. If he was going faster than that with that hook, I would be injured, you know, pretty seriously. So you really have to watch when you commit your arm underneath the far arm. Okay, a lot of times when I go here, just for safety reason, I use this shoulder here first, and I sink all my weight down against this side here. So if he ever tries to roll me, see what I'm saying? Roll. See, he does not rotate his shoulder. See what I'm saying? Here right now, I move to the head, and eventually put my head on the ground and my hip on his body. Sorry, you okay there? Yes, sir. And eventually here I have the collar, I push the hip forward and pull the lapel across his neck. Okay? So for the ones that are eager to get a clock choke, I really have a warning for you. Your greed in getting that position might work against you in a very bad way. Okay? So if you ever choose to work controlling the wrist, okay, as you get here, go ahead. See, you shift your weight, move, shift your weight. Get taller on the guy, so you have weight on his shoulder, and eventually here, you connect with the choke. I'd like to conclude this segment showing not necessarily a position from defending the guard, but more so a strategy that you use when you're on top to actually avoid being caught in the guard, okay? As you noticed early on, I was able to end up on top of Timmy in several occasions as I was defending. Once you end up on top, you want to, of course, maximize the control in order to eventually try a transition to the mount, okay? Which could happen with a knee on the stomach, a knee under the elbow, you know, a knee right, or a step over mount, where I control the belt, I try to get my hip deep dug under his elbow. I gradually do one step to get one leg out of the way, and then eventually I step the second leg over and try, if I can, to tie my legs before he attempts and escape, and circle my arm over to stabilize the top. Control. Despite my attempt this time, I'm going to be in a relaxed position and actually, on purpose, allow him to escape back to the guard. Okay? Once I feel that, see, I want to disengage. See, elbows in, and here, instead of trying to be square with him, keep moving. I'm trying to get his legs stacked. I don't know if you notice that. My weight down. See, as I get the legs stacked, my elbows are in, I try to fight with my feet to see if I can get my hooks to neutralize his legs. I don't know if you notice that. I'm always, put more pressure there for a second. See, I'm always trying to use my shin to help out, release the position. As I get to the side though, this is an angle that he's kind of 50-50 here with me. I either control him or he escapes. The way I am right now, it's unlikely I'm going to control him because I feel he's already escaping under my arm. See, he's out of the position. So, once you are here, excuse me, this position, elbows in, okay? Your head eventually try to kind of cover right here in front of his chest. Okay, control the bottom arm if you can. Control the bottom arm. Okay, I have the hook. If I don't have the hook, look my knees here. Keep your leg bugging me a little bit. See, I always try to make sure my weight is stable on the knees. I do not let the guy face me. Look how my legs work. I always coil and get my feet, look, to undo. You see how his foot is holding my leg here? I come on the other foot. See what I'm saying? Get the leg out. Once I'm here, whether he has an attempt to get his arm under mine or not, I will turn my elbow in. Okay? So when I'm here, move, turn the elbow in as I circle to his shoulder. See, it makes it a little more difficult for him to rotate, and now I have the side mount. I'll give him space again as he goes. Elbows in, look, I kind of favor moving away first, and then he's got the chin across. Keep moving. Look here, see here? Let go, get rid of it. You always use your head, look, head against the shoulder. See what I'm saying? You don't want to let the guy turn. And if you feel he has that arm posted on the ground, you're working against his leg. Move. See how I'm trying to keep your hips sunk? See, I want to get your back flat on the ground. See, weight on the hip. Eventually, get my leg out, boom. Get to the side mount. Okay? Remember what I told you? Your knees. Okay? Your elbows. Knee push on the face, you always let go and drop the arm down. I appreciate your attention so far, and I hope you had a good time with me and Timmy in this great journey, which is exploring all the nuances of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Going over one more time against the bullfighting guard pass. When my partner holds my knees, I'm going to work with knee rotation, preferably with my heels over. And as he tries to regain the grip, eventually both of my hands are going to target one of his arms, okay? A lot of times when you want to break the grip, keep a tight grip for me, please. It's not the pulling of the grip that matters. It is the leg stretching. Do you see that? So basically what I do, I barely pull his arm. It's my leg kind of kicking out that eventually will break the grip. Once that happens, I secure the arm with both hands. Okay, so if he tries to pull the arm out, he has to carry my whole weight. Okay, and I look for his hip as soon as I can. All right? Some guys, if they keep their knees tight over there, what I'll try to do, I'll walk on my shoulder, I start working on the legs. I push one leg, I push the other leg, and as I kind of move a little bit to the inside, I will have enough room to establish that foot on the hip. Okay? Once I have that, the position is good again to go for the ankle control. Remember that you don't want to keep all this gap in between, since that gives him a lot of opportunities to kind of kick the leg out. It's hard for me to control. So basically, I kind of move my hips slightly, keep always pressure, push the other leg out a little bit, and eventually once I hook, see, I kind of pull his leg out. Once he gets flat on the ground, as I go on top, it's important that you don't keep your leg over. That will cause two problems. First, some people might attack your ankle if they disengage from you. And second, even if I do succeed in getting on top, I will end up with my other leg trapped into a half guard, which at this point could be avoided if instead of going over right away. One more time real quick. Let's go back to the beginning. So knee rotation 1, knee rotation 2. As he tries to get the position again, I control, okay, ankle pick, okay, close the gap, push out, get your hook, stretch him out. All you need to do is bring this foot in, okay? So this is what will make the difference when you follow up with the position. And as I said earlier, you don't want to go straight, you want to go kind of like to the inside. So you can square the angle with your partner first and prevent him from getting around your back and affecting your control. Now, we're going to see a familiar technique as well against the same situation. This time though, he actually, let's kind of pass this way so the camera angle. Say, I will secure the sleeve. As he consolidates, I'll reach out for the belt. Okay? It is important for me here, as much as I can, to disengage from his grip. So that leg that he's holding, I bring my knee up, and then as I hold his arm, I kick my leg out. So that allows me to break free from his grip. And like I said, I can scoot under him, start lifting, pulling the belt, pushing the wrist, and here eventually, as he gets rolled over, I maintain enough control over his arm that when I turn over and end up on top, whichever way he tries to move, I have full control. Okay? We're going to see here in this position, since you're here, stretch your legs down for a second. I want to kind of cover a little bit, since it's such a favorable angle for the Kimura, kind of like briefly touch. We're going to see that in more depth later on. But a lot of times when I get to this position, I secure a 12 o'clock angle, which means I'm over the head. And the first way I do the setup is I will use one of my hands for control, so I control the body, while my other arm, I'm going to start kind of pushing the forearm against his elbow to spread his arm out. And I keep using the elbow and the forearm until I create enough room to go through with my whole arm. Okay? So after I finish the rotation, 12 o'clock angle, secure the grip, okay, with one of your hands against the belt for control purpose. Your second arm, you're going to kind of start pushing and spreading out his wrist so you can get the penetration space that you need here. Look, you get your arm and turn. Remember this now. If I keep my head on the same side here, hide your hand again. See what will happen, his hand will pass right in front of my eyes here, and I'll have to keep doing the same position over and over again. Okay, so hide again one more time. So when I secure that I get the space here, my head moves slightly that way. So if he tries to pass his arm in front of my face, at least my head is going to initially block. Okay, go, stay there. Okay, move a little bit. Eventually, I try to secure as much as I can the hand, not the wrist. You want the hand. Okay, and as you secure the hand here, okay, it's easier for you to post always the leg, preferably behind the back, and you pull the grip with a lot more ease if you're holding the hand compared to holding the wrist. Okay, so you grab the hand and you finish this way. Some people from this position, they actually prefer to use the elbow. Okay, they use the elbow against the forearm. They flat the person on the ground a little bit. You see how his hand is slapped over here? Once the hand gives, they kind of sideways position the hip and they put all out pressure, either in a Kimura-like position, which is the familiar chicken wing, or even if a guy stretches the arm out in a reversed stretched armbar. Okay, pushing the wrist against the ground. One advantage of having a hand grip is, in a Kimura position here, we're going to go over for the digging in a second, is it gives you also the option of wrist locks. Okay, how does that happen? Basically here, when I have, let's say, the hand, and I feel there's a lot of, I want you now to hold something, hold your arm, hold. See, I feel like I can't get the grip released. Okay, so basically, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to try to go 12 here, go 10 o'clock, and I will keep holding my hand right on top of his fist. Okay, keep pressure there, keep pressure there. One of the concerns I have in this case before I finish him is to make sure that he doesn't face me. A lot of times, put your over down. Yeah, you see that? How easy he came about? Okay, so here, once I get the position here and he tries to do the same thing again, I lift him up. Face me, face me, face me. See what I'm saying? See, I kind of lift him up a little bit. Put my pressure down. Now here when I put the pressure down, the forearm pushes all the way forward as I push the hand here, okay? Here actually, in an attempt to defend the wrist lock, he gave me the chance to go back for the Kimura, okay? I don't want to go in too much depth at this point, but if I ever lose this position here because he faces me, slow motion, what I will do automatically is stretch my arm and get the arm right back. So this drill here, just for a second here, if I'm ever here and he faces me and his elbow slides, I'm gonna stretch my arm inside, move back again to the head, and my hand pops out right back into the same control, which if the position is favorable as it is right now, it can be like a kimura, where I kind of shrug my shoulder against his arm, hand control, okay, head between my knees, and I finish. Or if his arm is not coming down for some reason, leg control, okay, and then he loosen up for the elbow. Sitting back in an arm bar, leg control, because if I just go for the arm, I can prevent him from facing me with that knee, but I cannot prevent him from rolling the other way if he wants to keep rolling his heel, okay? That's why I use the leg control. One more time here. We're gonna go back to the beginning. Start the passes, belt, control. Now here I have to release the grip. I pull the arm a little bit, keep my leg out, keep defending. See, move. I sometimes move under him. He's not going anywhere. Move away and keep my elbow heavy on his belt. Okay? Now here, look. I kind of actually get on my knees. Because I have the pressure of the elbow against the head, I prevent him from getting up. So I kind of can choose here. If Tim wants to fight from here, it's kind of hard for him to prevent me from getting on the side. Remember what I told you about the clock choke? When you go for it, to always don't overcommit on the arm so you don't get hurt. You switch your base this way, and eventually you go towards the head, where you can, as you circle, get full pressure. Okay, why is it called a clock? Because as you move, when your hip passes to a point where the pressure is beyond his, ability to resist. Okay, roll me over now, roll me over. You see how I tried to counter his weight here by putting the weight on the shoulder? See I put all the weight on his shoulder here. See what I'm saying? Sorry. Are you okay there?
Yes, sir.
And then eventually, I move my hip and pull the collar out all the way. So by just shifting your weight a little bit and spreading more weight towards the head, you can make it more difficult and less likely that you're going to get attacked on the arm. So just to close again one more time, is defense from the guard. If you ever feel you're missing the position, the two possibilities for the belt and sleeve grip control rollover will be either best case scenario as it goes. So kick out, so use my knee against his face, and then I kind of go with him and flip him over. If I have the kimura, it's kind of on the go. So you control, okay. If he holds the arm, it makes it difficult. I don't have to fight, I can try, but here I secure the sleeve, secure the leg, okay. Step the leg behind the back first, step the other leg in front of the face. I have to at least try to delay his roll that way. Right now, actually my leg will fit across his stomach, so I don't have to worry about that leg anymore. And then from here, of course, see, as you kind of tilt a little bit with a double grip, eventually his arm gives, and you have the full arm bar. The second and last possibility for the same control, sleeve and belt grip, is if your partner does not give you the position of the rollover because his weight is not committed on your chest, you're going to actually move your hip out and roll on your knees. Okay? So one more time here. So I'm here, I actually favor that. See if I do kick out and I'm not going anywhere. Elbow heavy. First key point here, elbow heavy. Okay, look my legs here. Coil, kick my leg out, get my elbow on the ground. As I get up, very important, all my elbow pressure is against his head. So I can switch to the side and eventually get a position of control.
Okay? And just a quick observation to finalize it. The alternate positioning between the two is also very feasible. That means I'm here, sleeve, he's fastened. Protect your face, remember against the knee, hold the belt, keep your leg out. Sometimes I'm trying to flip him over, see, I feel I can't. Sometimes I want to try to move back in, and my hip out, and he actually chases me. As he does, he gives me, see that knee there? He gives me the lift. And then I actually finish him with a flip over the head as I intended to originally, okay? Arm control, remember what I told you. Resist a little bit now, Jimmy, come on. Control. Remember what I told you here also, if for some reason, it's very common, guys, they try to jerk the elbow out. See the elbow go inside, like they really suddenly turn. See how I will stretch my arm out, keep going? I'll stretch my arm out and then I move 12 o'clock. Look, I get the arm back. I'll let the guy escape the arm again. As he does, look, stretch, move towards the head. Get back again. Here, just to finalize a little more on the Kimura, if you ever want to lift the arm and if it's heavy, in this case, you can actually come with your arm across the shoulder and do an X grip. See, he's trying to keep the arm from stretching out. I put all the pressure against the shoulder. Do you see that? That allows his arm to get stretched over my shoulder here. So anytime I'm trying to lift, instead of using one arm alone, over here, as long as I don't let his arm pass in front of my head and lose the Kimura, go back again. See, I can secure here. X, you see the X here? The more your elbow is close to the shoulder, the easier it is for your body to position the arm in a prone position, either for the Kimura. If you try to go, you still put pressure until your hand kind of catches it. But because his arm is so extended, it almost makes it, unavoidable that I'm gonna reach out, okay? Remember here also, grip on the collar, reach out. 1, 2, and the nice thing about this cross grip is nothing stays in between this leg and his body. See, I can easily come with my leg in between and eventually go for the submission. Thank you, Tim. My goal at this point was not to spend too much time on submissions from the side mount, but just to give a couple of options. If your partner succeeds in escaping from your legs and passing your guard, and you counter with the sleeve belt grip and the roll over the head. With that, we conclude our segment on defending against the bullfighting guard pass.